Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little Manchester United news roundup video for you of the day's latest goings on. What's happening, people? Thank you very much for joining us and getting in here today. We've got a lot to get into, actually. We've got a few things, bit of breaking news as well, which we'll cover in a moment. But we will get into all the latest Man United's goings on. So do us a favour at the start of this stream, hit the thumbs up button on it, give us a cheeky little like, and get yourself involved throughout in the live chat as well. Do have your say as we dip in and out of all the different topics and stuff. So do get involved in the comment section. And also smash a like on the video at the start of this stream. Give it a cheeky little thumbs up. Give it a share on social media as well. Spread the word, spread the news, help spread the news. Thank you very much, everybody who does that. And I hope you're all doing well today. A few shout outs at the start. We've got Ezio, Sim, 007's in here. What's going on? Masatima, Noctem, Berber, Aaron, and everybody else as well. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to cover all the latest United's goings on. The big news, really, so I've got some sort of eyelash on my eye. Makes sense where it would be, to be fair. But we've got the breaking news. Let's just get right into it now then, dudes. Tony Martial wants to leave Manchester United. This is the latest understanding. His agent has come out and said, he spoke directly to Sky Sports, I believe, and he said that Tony Martial wishes to leave the club in January. He says he just needs to play. He doesn't want to stay in January, and I will speak to the club soon. He said we have to make sure. This is what Rangnick, said before the Norwich game. He said, we have to make sure players want to stay here, he said. If players are not getting enough game time, it might make sense to speak individually. Loan might make sense for some. So Rangnick definitely, aware of the fact that he's probably going to lose one or two players in January, players who are not getting game time, players who are not playing, that he doesn't see to have a future in the short term at United. And so, may well be moved on. There's lots of question marks. We covered it yesterday in a top 5 likely transfers video. People like Lingard, people like Donny, and of course, Tony Martial now, obviously, with his desire to leave the football club. I mean, I think this is a little bit piss poor from Tony, to be fair. I'm just going to be honest. Why does he have to go about it this way? Why can't they have his agents obviously spoken to Sky Sports. They're getting it out there in the media, I guess. But really, it would have been better dealt with behind closed doors, in my personal opinion, with his agents trying to get his name out there. There's lots of different links. There's a link to Barcelona that has emerged here. In my opinion, there should be links to various different Premier League clubs that should be interested in him. Teams like maybe Newcastle, teams like maybe Raiola and Haaland. So, the world is Tony Martial's oyster when it comes to finding a new club. But I just think, does it really have to be dealt with in the public eye here in the media? I don't think it does. I think it could have been sorted out behind closed doors. But there you go. Tony Martial and his agent have let it be known that they are not happy at United. To be fair, he's not really played this season. I get that. And I suppose what's happened perhaps is he's had a conversation, or, Rangnick and Martial have come to the decision, maybe together or maybe independently, that he's not the right man for the job. I mean, if the new man comes in and doesn't seem to take a shine to you and doesn't give you any assurances that you're going to be playing in the team after you've just not really played for the previous manager, it's likely that you might want to leave, which is the same for Donny van der Beek as well, having not played any football really under Ollie. And then the new man comes in. Well, if the new manager says to him, you're just going to be a bit part player for me as well, then it's kind of like, well, he's got to go. So Tony Martial wants to leave the club. In my opinion, see you later on, Tony, mate. You know what I'm saying? Who really gives a shit? No disrespect. He's actually a nice guy. He's done some good stuff for United, but he's always just missed the 50%. He's got a constant semi on this guy, but he's never hard. You know what I'm saying? He's missed the 50%, this dude. He needs to sort himself out. He needs to probably leave Manchester United for the benefit of his own career. Try and get some tenacity in this game. Because unfortunately for us, he only turns up half of the time. It's very disappointing, it's very disappointing, his career at United in general, because there's been glimpses, moments of absolute magic where you've just thought, wow, this guy's incredible. And but unfortunately, it hasn't really continued in a consistent vein, and he's just always been more or less shite. Let's be honest. He just hasn't really ever performed to a good enough standard for United on a consistent enough basis. And we don't really need players like that at United anyway. We just need players that turn up regularly, fight for the badge, don't let their heads drop. And he's one of the players that is guilty of doing that in United's side, where you can see throughout the game, if it's not all going his way, he has a paddy mentally and just seems to just not be asked. So I'm not too bothered about it, to be fair. I think this is a perfect opportunity, actually, for Ralph Rangnick to generate some cash. We could get a bit of money for Martial in this one, and possibly possibly generate, a good bit of money to be able to spend on a CDM or something like that. So I'm just going to ask you actually in the live chat, everybody. Thanks everyone who's in here, by the way. Do us a favour. Let me know, how much do you think we could actually get for Tony Martial in pounds sterling? How much do you think we could get for Tony? I mean, listen, I've heard 60, 70 million bandied around. He is only 25 or 26, but that seems like too much money to me. I would have thought somewhere in the region of what we paid for him, maybe 40 to 50 million. 50 million pounds, 40 million pounds, somewhere around that. He is a good standard player. The market is pretty crazy these days. Even players like Tony Martial are worth 40 or 50 mil, surely. So, that's my belief. What do you guys think? Berber thinks he's 40 million. Arsenal Manic says 60 million. Hey, look, I don't think he's 60 million either. G-Wolf says 50 million down the drain. Tony Martial could go to Spain. I see what you did there. 20 to 30 at a stretch, says Extensive. Makes sense. We have an abundance of attackers. He's probably worth 50 mil. There you go, Johnny. So most of us think he's worth around about 40, maybe around about 50 at a push. That sounds pretty damn good to me. I mean, who would actually be able to buy this guy? Let's be realistic. I'll ask you again in the live chat and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. Where do you think the most likely destination for Tony Martial would be? So it's understood he wants to go away. His agent said he wants to leave in January. He doesn't want to hang about to the summer. He wants to go in Jan. Now, there's a few clubs around world football that are in need of a striker right now. There's a few lower clubs in the Prem that should be interested as well. I mean, I look at somebody like, I know I mentioned it earlier, but Arsenal need a striker. You need a forward player. They could do worse than Tony Martial. Honestly, they could. They're a mid-table side. Tottenham hot shits as well. They should be interested in a player like Tony Martial. But going further afield, Everton, by the way, maybe players like this, teams like this. But going further afield, in Italy, teams like Inter Milan, maybe Juventus. In Spain, Barcelona is being talked about. Whether or not they'll be able to afford the guy, I doubt it. But the reason I wanted to bring up Barcelona is because think about some of the players they've got to get rid of. There's talks at this moment in time that Frankie de Jong needs to be sold in order to sort of help steady the ship there financially and also to redistribute and reshape the squad in other areas that they're lacking. So, and then that they need a forward player as well. So, maybe there's some sort of deal that could be done there. Could you just imagine, really, if Man United managed to do something for de Jong, where we could swap Tony Martial and some money and get Frankie de Jong? I mean, that would be absolutely unbelievable, wouldn't it? That would be amazing, because Tony's just really a bit part player at this stage. He does come in sometimes, he does do some good stuff sometimes, but he's not playing regularly. He's a waste of 200k a week. And that's how much he's on, by the way, guys. £200,000 a week for Tony Farcical. It's ridiculous. Norwich City says Arsenal Manic, Newcastle / Barca. That's a good link as well, Berber. Yeah, Newcastle United. They've got the money. Could we sell them a double combo of Jesse Lingard and Tony Martial and just solve a lot of our January problems in one fell swoop, generate 70 mil and buy a quality player or two? Man, what a window that would be. We haven't done a lot of business in January over recent years, but that would be a sensational window. Nas 786 says Newcastle. Yeah, they've got the money, don't they? They can afford him. There's not that many clubs that would be willing to pay Tony Martial the sort of wages that we pay the guy. So, yeah, that's a very good point. I think it's very possible one of those big money clubs could be coming in for him. Johnny says Newcastle as well. Connor Matthews says Arsenal will overpay 100 million plus Arteta. I mean, this is it. Arsenal are a stupid club. They probably would be interested in Tony Martial. They shouldn't be because of his inconsistencies. But for his qualities, he fits right in at Arsenal there, to be fair, of a bunch of underachievers. He sort of fits in there. Hey there, Rushmano. How you doing today? He says Martial is 4th best at choice. Well, you said it, mate. There you go. I mean, depends on the position, I suppose. But on the wing, yeah, he's not getting in there ahead of Rashi or Sancho or Greenwood for me in any of those positions, really. And then up top, man, he might as well be 5th or 6th choice. You're absolutely right. So, yeah, Tony Martial doesn't really get a look in. It's a shame it didn't work out for him. Of course, he was turned to number 9 by Solskjaer. Maybe that's had an impact on his career because it's certainly since then, he's looked ropey. I think his best position was out on the left wing back in the day. And when he was running at people and creating chances for his teammates and having shots on goal from distance, but not playing number 9. So maybe Solskjaer and maybe his whole transition to number 9 is what's hurt and hindered Tony Martial's career. It almost feels like, though, with Tony that he's the sort of player that could go somewhere else and just explode and just start doing really amazing things and just take that next step up. I honestly do think that. I don't know why. It's just, I guess it's because he's got all of the abilities on the ball that you want. You know, he's got all the qualities, all the technique. Problem is, it's just maybe he's lacking a little bit in terms of the determination, the motivation, maybe aspects of the mental game. But going actually in terms of qualities, he's a very, very good technical player. So, yeah, it's a strange one, but he could go somewhere and do really well as one team. Tony Farsical, see you later on, says Aidan McDonnell, that's right. No, let's not be too mean. Listen, he's given his service. In fact, let's have a look at Tony Martial's career by numbers at Manchester United. Everyone, do us a favour if you're just getting in here, smash the like button. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on this stream. And also, hit the subscribe button if you're new, give it a share and all that jazz. Thank you very much. So this is Tony Martial's statistics at Manchester United, season by season here. And shush, stop playing. And it doesn't, what's playing? Sorry, guys. And it doesn't make for that interesting reading. I'm not going to lie. Let's take a look. So statistics, all seasons. This is what we're dealing with Tony. So, okay. So this season so far, he's only played 7 times in the Prem, 1 goal. That's not very good, but he's only had 202 minutes, to be fair to him. Last season in the Premier League, 23 games, 4 goals, 7 assists. Not terrible. 11 contributions in 23. Not terrible. Not terrible. In the Champions League, 5 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. Not terrible last season, actually, to be fair. But he's playing number fucking 9 last season, you have to remember. He is the focal point. So it's not terrible for a winger, but for a striker, it's fucking gash, actually. It's not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. He's getting basically a goal contribution every other game. But that's not good enough. That's sort of what Romelu Lukaku was doing for United when he was here, those sort of stats. Not terrible, but not great. In fact, that's probably doing Romelu a bit harsh. But the season before that, okay, he's got 10 in 27 with 3 assists. Again, it's around about that goal contribution of 1 in every 2 games. It's just not good enough, is it? It's just not good enough, is it? The season before that, 30 Premier League appearances. For United, 9 goals, 5 assists. So that's 14 goal contributions. He's getting a goal contribution in every 1 or 2 games. That's all he's worth to you. That's decent, but it's not good enough for Manchester United, especially for your forward players. You've got to be more effective than that. So I think that's what it's come down to, really. You analyse his time at United, it's very sort of lacklustre. He's never had a standout season ever, looking at these stats at United, where you go, you know what? Yeah, he's the one. You know, he just never has. Actually, when you see the black and white stats in front of you here, it just makes for very mundane reading. So, yeah, Tony Martial is not really statistically that impressive at all. So it's no big loss, I think, for Manchester United to get rid of this guy. It's a great opportunity for us to generate cash and spend it on a central defensive mid. And if somebody like Barcelona wants to get a striker and they want to sell a big asset, a £70 million valued player such as De Jong, and they want to do some sort of deal here, maybe we give them 25 million plus Tony valuing him at about 45 million, and we get De Jong in the opposite direction, and that solves our problem, and then it solves their problem, and they get a bit of cash too. I'm pretty sure that would be sensational for everybody involved. We would love to see that. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you would like to see a De Jong and Tony Martial swap. You don't often see it in football. It happens very rarely. We saw it last, I guess, was Mkhitaryan? Yeah, Mkhitaryan and Sanchez. There was some sort of, I don't know if it was an actual technical swap or just 2 separate individual transfers, but essentially that was a swap. One says, Wiggy, hey, Mushmani says we've got 29 likes. Smash the thumbs up button if you're just getting in here, dudes. Do hit the like on the vid. So just if you're just getting in here, this is what Tony's Martial's agent said. He said, Anthony wishes to leave the club in January. He just needs to play. He doesn't want to stay in January, and I will speak to the club soon. And then Rangnick said before the Norwich game, we have to make sure players want to stay here. If players are not getting enough game time, it might make sense to speak individually. Loan might make sense for some. So there's certain players at United that are definitely going to be leaving in January, is all this means really, whether it's on loan with an option to buy or just a loan, or whether it's an actual permanent transfer. There's going to be a couple of players going in January, as we've discussed recently. Jesse Lingard's top of that list, and now Tony Martial's got to be very high up there. The only stumbling block with Tony is, of course, he is on big money, And, that is a bit of an off-putting for some clubs. There are certain clubs around there that would be interested. Various different clubs. But yes, his agent has said that is it in January. He is out of here. Well, it depends. They've got to speak to the club, but I don't think Rangnick's too keen on Toney either. I wouldn't be. If I'm coming in, I'm looking at the options in the wide areas that we've got or up top there, and he doesn't really get a look in. He's not really. He may be B team. Okay, he probably is going to deputise for me, for Rashford on the left. But other than that, he's just not really going to do much. He's never really going to play that much for me. So I wouldn't put my faith and trust in Tony Martial to do a consistent job at United. If I've been watching him over the last few years, and I'm sure Rangnick has been doing his due diligence and looking into all these performances and assessing his players in training as well. And I'm sure he's not very impressed. That's why he's not, I guess, well, we don't know yet. Maybe he'll have the conversation with him and convince him to stay, but I very much doubt it. His agent's come out and said he wants to go. Seems like the perfect chance for Rangnick to generate some cash to go and buy other players. You would have Lingard at Arsenal, says Arsenal Manic. You should do, to be fair. He's a decent option for Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal are basically just cast off FC. Cast off FC. We just give them our cast offs. Yeah, here, have Danny Welbeck. Here, have Henrik Mkhitaryan. They're shite. So that seems to be what happens these days. Yeah, Arsenal are just like our glue factory. As well as Inter Milan and Serie A, we just ship off old legs. We also give our cash players to Arsenal too. So yes, Arsenal, you can have Lingard, no problem. And if you want Tony Martial for 60 mil, you can have him too. I wonder if Arsenal would go in for one of those players. So the most likely teams for Jesse Lingard to end up at right now are West Ham and Newcastle United. That is the most realistic. There are some other murmurs of some clubs in Italy and even Barca being interested in Jesse for various reasons. He is a decent player in his prime. But then you've also got to factor in the other possibility as well of Tony Martial leaving. Seems like we could generate a lot of cash this window to go and buy other players, which would be nice. This is what Rangnick said. He said, with Anthony Martial, this is about his fitness. So Tony Martial is not fit to play, right, guys? So if he's not fit to play, he's picked up a knock. Let's have a look, actually, exactly what it is. So, yes, Tony not really part of Rangnick's plans for this next couple of weeks anyway because of an injury. So this is basically the situation. Tony Martial, he's got an injury. I'm not too sure what the injury is. I've forgotten now, but he does have an injury and he's out. So Tony's not even going to play in the next game against Norwich or be in contention to start against Norwich City or even come off the bench. So yeah, it's sort of perfect storm right now, the perfect time to get this guy out of the club, I think. So that's the situation with Tony. Who's bothered? Let me ask you a question in the live chat. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think we should keep Tony Martial. Like, in all seriousness, we think we should give him a chance under Rangnick. To be fair, new manager's come in, hasn't had a chance to really see much of him. Maybe he could do well for Tony Martial. Who knows? But maybe he just doesn't want him. Smash a 1 if you think we should keep Tony Martial. Or smash a 2 if you think we should just sell him and cash in January. Generate the cash. Go out there, sign another player. 007 thinks we should keep him. Naz786 thinks we should keep him. Georgie Ivanov thinks sell him. You would loan or sell him, says Ryan. Johnny says sell him. Mikato says sell him. Naz says keep him. Lynette Giggs says the club never wished Tony happy birthday, but next day wished McTominay. Is that true, Lynette Giggs? You're joking me. Is that true? So what, on the club's social media account, they wished McTominay a happy birthday the day after Tony's birthday, and they forgot Tony's birthday. Man, I'd be leaving the club too if I was Tony Martial. They forgot my birthday? If that's true, Lynette, that is pretty piss poor by the club there. They need to sort their social media calendar out, guys. That's not true, says Nate. Well, it doesn't sound like they would do that. But maybe it's just an error from the social media department. Who knows? I'm not too sure. We'll have to, I don't know, it sounds like it's something, a mistake that could be made. But yeah, that's pretty piss poor. Right, okay, so bits more information coming in here then. So, yeah, possible De Jong Martial swap could be on the cards. He does have an injury. This is what Rangnick said. He said, with Tony Martial, we'll wait and see. It's a question of pain and how tolerable the pain will be on his knee. But for tomorrow, he won't be one of the players who is available. So these are quotes, obviously, from Rangnick ahead of the Norwich game. So Tony won't be available. We know that anyway. He's hurt his knee. And he's, of course, wanting to leave the football club. So looks like Tony's on his way out. Looks like Tony's going, guys. There you go. Barcelona have been monitoring Martial's situation as well with interest. So as we say, you know, whether it's an option to buy him, maybe a loan deal with an option to buy and they sell one of their players, or De Jong is sold and Martial goes in the opposite direction, or it's just a straight swap with some money. We'll have to wait and see, but it looks like he is going. The other player who's most likely to leave as well, and he supposedly has let it be known that he wants to go now as well, is Tony Martial, with Newcastle United being the top of the list there. I mean, Martial and Lingard, they are perfect players to sell. They've done piss all at the football club. They've just literally taken up space now for a number of years, particularly Jesse. I mean, at least Martial's had some good goal-scoring vein at some time. I remember the end to one season where for about 3 months he was playing at striker. This is before he got the number 9. And he was just absolutely penetrating forwards at that position for a few months. So he has had spells. And Jesse Lingard scored in cup finals and all the rest of it, but he's still just bang bloody average. It's time for him to coo over, like the pigeon that he is, to West Ham United and play, you know, to a good standard, but not to that standard that is United. He's on too much money at United as well. So yeah, I think it's the right decision all round to sell Martial and Lingard in the window. And I would even add in there's another possibility that another player goes in January. I think you could see those two go, but I also think there's another player goes in January. Not too sure who at this stage. I mean, we don't know the situation of Donny van der Beek. Could be very similar to Martial. He's not been played under the old manager all season long or even the season before. And then the new manager comes in. Unless that new manager is going to give you assurances that you will play for the side, maybe it's time that you moved on as well. So who knows about the Donny situation right now? And then there's a few other of the older heads in the squad. Maybe Rangnick's going to make way for some of these. You might see, I don't know, Matic to Roma. Who the fuck knows? There could be anything that happens. Jose's desperate to get some signings over there. Supposed to be interested in Dallo and stuff. I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I do think that there's a bit of business to be done in this January window. Usually it's very quiet. But this year I've got a feeling it's going to be quite busy for Manchester United. Definitely in terms of the outs. Because we need to get a few of the underperformers out of the side, a few of the inconsistent melts, and also get a few of the, hopefully get a few good replacements in there. Okay, we have a Martial update here. Thank you very much, Roshmano, for getting this in. Top lad, thank you so much. So this is a Barcelona update. It says Barcelona on loan could provide an option for Tony Martial. Inter have asked prior to Dzeko and Sanchez, their striker of depth could use replacing with younger blood by next season. Newcastle also lurking. Fair enough. Our price would be around £35 million is what's being rumoured here. Fair enough. That's a little bit of personal, opinion there. So maybe that's the case. £35 million could be a decent fee for him. I would expect we get a little bit more than that, in all honesty. I would imagine 40 to 45 should be the number that you get for Tony Martial. 35 million is too cheap. That's too cheap. I mean, the only thing is he's on big money, so that does lower his transfer value because he's just not that obtainable for clubs. If they're going to have to spend £50 million and pay him a couple of £100,000 a week, it just becomes a lot less attractive in many ways. Okay, so let's get on to the next piece of information we've got then, guys. This is the United news. So the big news, obviously, Tony Martial is looking to leave. Do us a favour, guys, if you're just joining us, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. We've got a preview show coming at 6 p.m. today with the lads on as well, discussing and previewing the Norwich game. So do get involved for that at 6 p.m. But we're going to be on here until 5:15ish, somewhere around there. So the rumoured clubs, Barca, Bayern, Inter, Newcastle, all could be interested in Tony Martial in January. Right, let's get on to that absolute grubby little pie fingerer. Mino Raiola, right, peeps? Let's get on to this guy. What a grubby little pie fingerer. Here we go. Here's the quotes from him. When talking to TalkSport about the Erling Haaland situation, this is what the Mr. Grubby Pie Fingerer had to say. He says, there's a great chance that Haaland will leave this summer. We will tell BVB what our idea is, and Dortmund will tell us theirs. But no decisions about Erling's future will be made in winter. Maybe this summer, maybe the summer after, we will see, the super agent told the German outlet. He said, Erling Haaland will take the next step. Bayern? Real? Barcelona? Man City? These are the big clubs he can join. City have won the championship 5 times in the last few years. Much more than Manchester United. When we moved to BVB, we all knew that this is the step that will be. Do you know what? Fuck you, Mino Raiola, you prick. Always trying to put the boot in for United. Where's the need for slagging off United there, in all honesty? There's no need. You can keep that personal information yourself, even if you just stop after, Bayern, Real, Man City, these are the big clubs he can join. Even if you just stop there. But no, he has to say, City have won it in the last few years much more than Manchester United. What douchebag, honestly. Do you know what? Stick your player up your arse, Mino Raiola. I'd rather Erling Haaland went to one of these top sides and we didn't have to deal with this grubby little prick. How's about that? I think that'd be much better, don't you? Yeah, that's it. See you later on, Haaland. I don't even want to sign the guy anymore. If it means dealing with this prat any longer, I don't want to sign the guy anymore. And Pogba can fuck off to PSG as well. Yeah, that's right. Who else is represented by Mino Raiola? They could all do one too. But, it is annoying. He doesn't have to have the boot in there, to be fair. He doesn't have to have the boot in. And plus, what he's stating, what he's actually saying, okay, we haven't won the championship since 2013, right? Fair enough. But in terms of actually being a huge club, in terms of being a big club, I mean, he's just said Barcelona. Barcelona are in the fucking Europa League, Mino Raiola. They're in the Europa League. So don't tell me that at this moment in time that's a better option. It's just because, just because he hates Manchester United, he likes having a boot in at Manchester United. That's what it is. That's what it is. Barcelona in the Europa League, for fuck's sake. Man. So, yes, that has wound me up a little bit because you know what Mino Raiola is like. Any opportunity. Yes, Gungshi, how you doing today, Gungas? He says the guy's a twat. No, you just said it, mate. I agree with you. I just don't like him. I think he's a very negative man in terms of the way he talks about this football club. He seems to have a little respect for Manchester United, just from things he said in the past. Things like saying, I remember a couple of years ago he said, Paul Pogba should not be playing for a club like United who are struggling. He should be playing for a championship winning side. And it's like, okay, yeah, well, how about he fucking has a hand in doing that then? How's about he helps? He's supposed to be this world-class mercurial player. Like, it's not just down, to he shouldn't just be carried along, in other words. You've got to have players who fight, and we haven't seen that fight from Pogba. So, Mino Raiola, just toxic, man. I feel like they're very toxic, some of these football agents these days. Berber says Bellingham is 100% the future of our midfield. That is who I'd love to see signed as well, man. That's a great shout. Yeah, he's only 18, but he's still probably good enough already. Thank you guys for getting in the live chat, by the way. Martial out, yes, to Player B. That is the latest news, my friend. Tony Martial wants out. His agent has said he wants to go. But anyway, yeah, I agree. Waka Sakram. Very disrespectful from Mino Raiola here. There's no need for that statement. He doesn't have to put the dig into United. It's just, there you go. He's obviously, United living a bit rent-free in his head. Maybe it's to do with these Pogba negotiations. I don't know. But whatever it is, I just feel like we shouldn't really deal with this guy anymore. I would like it if United just didn't degrade ourselves and deal with this guy anymore. Yeah, we're going to lose out on some good players. So what? There's other good players out there who aren't represented by fucking toads. You know what I'm saying? So it would be much better for United just to avoid this guy in the future. Very disrespectful indeed. Denzel Washington says, surely it's Haaland's decision where he goes next, not his grubby agent. It is ultimately his decision. Yeah, you're right, exactly. I mean, if the offers come in, though, Riola's going to try and sort of bandy him around to different clubs. He's going to offer him around to different clubs and try and get the most amount of money possible. So I do think that he'll go where the money's at to a degree. But if there's not that much difference to it, I'm sure he'd rather play for Manchester United on 600 grand a week than, say like a rich Chinese team on 650 grand a week. He is going to have a decision. It's not just going to be about money. So he's got to obviously decide where he wants to go. But I think, to be fair, any of those top clubs, Real Madrid, if they wanted to come in for him, they could probably get him. And if that's what his agent says, and is a top club that he should go to, and we're not, then hey, we're not even in the debate. Fuck that guy. I personally just don't think we should deal with him anyway. Hey, Gungshi, thank you so much for getting in here with a cheeky little super chat, my son. Come on, everybody, let's get a super chat emoji in there for Gungshi. Thank you, Gungers. He says, Pig, my dream is that Pogba sacks Raiola and makes Don Piglioni, a.k.a. Pigba, his new agent. Gungshi, thank you so much, my friend. Yeah, do you know what my dream is? My dream is that Paul Pogba sacks Raiola, sacks himself, and goes to France and plays for fucking, I don't know, Nîmes. That's right, not PSG. Why would my dream be that? Nîmes. That's right, in the Farmers League. No, but in all honesty, it's about time that he did leave the football club as well. Just on the Pogba thing, seeing as we're talking about his agent, like he could go too. We're talking about a change. We're talking about an exodus. Players going. Tony Martial wants to go. Jesse Lingard wants to go. Paul Pogba, you could go too, just based solely on performances of what he's done at this football club over the last 5 years. Not up to the standard. See you later on, son. So Gunshi, I know you want him to sack his agent and that will help us in regards to, maybe negotiations, maybe signing him up to a new deal, etc. But you know what, Gunshi? I don't want to sign him up to a new deal. So we don't need to hope that he gets a new agent. We just need to hope that he gets a new club. In all fairness, because in terms of contribution, he's not that great. One thing I will say, though, is, look, we've got a new coach in, Rangnick, with a new system. Just maybe, when Pogba's back from fitness, this new manager, could get this guy to perform to a good standard. It is possible. Like, if you look at his stats, in terms of his passing stats, his progressive forward passing stats, and also even his pressing stats this season, on average, he's not played many games, but on average, are quite high up there in terms of the squad. Maybe Rangnick could get the most out of him. But in my opinion, Pogba is not a Rangnick player because of his nonchalant attitude, because of his maybe there's some sort of, I don't know, it seems to lack that testicular fortitude that you need to be in the engine room at Manchester United, where you've really got to, put in a shift and be mentally strong and determined and fight. I don't know, there's just, he seems to be nonchalant out there a lot of the time. He dawdles on the ball, gives it away. He's jogging around quite a lot of the time, doesn't really look like he's, willing to put in the work sometimes. Sometimes he does, but overall, you look at people like, I don't know, Fred or something near him, alongside him, the energy and the work rate from that guy is just like almost double what Paul Pogba does. Paul Pogba, he can put in shifts. We've seen it where he's back fighting and stuff, but it's few and far between. Most of the time, he's a nonchalant melt. He's meandering around. He's not a Rangnick player on paper. Rangnick even said that a couple of years ago when he was at Leipzig. Asked about Paul Pogba, he said, I'd rather have Keita, because he's more my type of player in my system and would complement my system better. So, this is a big question mark about Paul Pogba, whether he will be going. I think he is out injured until the end of Jan at least, so he probably won't be going in the Jan window, which just avoids that whole transfer window and means he can leave in the summer. Okay, we have an update here from Samuel Luckhurst as well. This is about Tony Martial. It says, Martial's career in jeopardy before the season started. He crumbles whenever there is competition. Ibra, Sanchez, Cavani, and has had 2 good seasons out of 6.5. Next year, time to cash in. Yeah, well, that's a fair opinion there from Samuel Luckhurst, and I'd sort of share that myself, really, that he's had plenty of time. He's had plenty of opportunities to be able to impress and perform, and he just hasn't done so. So just like Paul Pogba, really, Tony Martial, Paul Pogba, both French and both disappointing, so maybe they should both go back to France in terms of like playing for PSG. Pogba wants to go to PSG. His agent wants him to go to PSG. They can pay all the money. I don't know if PSG would be interested in Martial. They wouldn't, would they? They wouldn't be interested. They're looking for the elite top players, and Tony Martial is not that, really. He'd be a decent squad player for them. But does Tony doesn't want to go in somewhere and play bit part. He wants to clearly go and be a big player in a team, which is why he's told his agent, and his agent's put it out to the media that he's not happy and he wants to leave. So yeah, there you go. Tony Martial, he's shite. I'm just kidding anyway. But anyway, okay, so back on the Raiola stuff there, yeah. Absolute scumbag, of course. And it would be nice to get Haaland. Don't get me wrong, I would take Haaland in a heartbeat. But I don't want to be ransomed. I don't want to be disrespected. I think we should deal with actual reputable agents, not grubby little pie fingerers. That's my opinion on it. So Mino Raiola, he's shite. Okay, this is what Rangnick said about David De Gea as well. Next piece of Manchester United news we got for you. So obviously the goalkeeping situation's a big possibility for somebody to leave too. Dean Henderson may well go in January out on loan, maybe with an option to buy for a team, but probably just out on loan to maybe come back again in the future and maybe in a couple of years' time be at Manchester United as the number 1. That's possible. Or he might go and move permanently for his own good, for his own career, to maybe get into the England side and all the rest of it. But this is what Rangnick said about De Gea. He said, with David De Gea, we have a top goalkeeper as number 1. So this is the position that we have a minimum 3, if not 4 or 5 good goalkeepers. And we will see what the situation will be like in the winter. So we'll have to see what's going on in the January transfer window. And it looks like there's going to be some movement for players out there. Dean Henderson, that means you. It's not going to be Tom Heaton. He's only just coming in on a free. He's not on big money. Dean Henderson's on big money. And he's a big player for us, of course, in terms of, his wages. So it doesn't really make sense to have him sat there. He's good enough to be a number 1, really, for a decent club, for a good club. For a top club, he's good enough to be a number 1. So for him, we should load him out to, I don't know, a top Italian side or a mid-table Prem side, something like that. Get him some game time, get him some opportunities, a lower Prem side, somebody that's not going to affect us too much, and hope that Henderson, does really well, and that still continues to develop. But right now, from what Ralph Rangnick has said, it certainly seems like David De Gea is going to be the number 1 choice, and that Dean Henderson will be loaned out or maybe even sold in Jan. Hey, thank you so much, K Wars, for getting in here, mate, with a super chat, lad. $4.99 super chat from K Wars. Thank you, my son. He comments and he says, "Bye, Tony. We've got Elanga and Ahmed, who are younger and hungrier for success. Pogba can join him, to be honest. I used to rate him, but he's just another mercenary." Great shout, K Wars. Yeah, I echo what you say as well, man. I agree. In regards to both of them, they can both go, really. It's no disrespect. They've tried at United to a degree anyway. Don't know if they've tried as hard as some, but they've tried to a degree, and it's not worked out for them. Sometimes players just have to move on. I mean, I personally think for Paul Pogba, from his own point of view, what's he doing at Manchester United? Like, there are clubs interested in him. He is a World Cup winner. He could just go and do one at another club, have a much easier ride, win some silverware. Imagine if he was at PSG or Juventus or Real Madrid. It's like they are going to win things more regularly. And whereas at United in the Premier League with 6 good teams fighting out for the title every single year and depth in the competition, it's much harder, especially with United in this transitional period, which we've been in since post-Fergie, trying to find our feet again at the top. So for him, if I was him, I would actually want to leave anyway, because I would think, man, let's just go for the last 5 years of my career, try and win some bloody trophies, because he's not going to win that. He doesn't seem like he's going to win that much at United, not guaranteed anyway, because he hasn't won that much. I mean, we did win the Europa, we did win the League Cup, but other than that, what's Paul Pogba won at United? Is it just the Europa and the League Cup? Or is it something else? And the FA Cup? I don't know. Yeah, no, he came in after the FA Cup, right? So is it just the Europa and the League Cup? That's pretty crap, for a World Cup winner, somebody who's considered one of the, he's a very high-profile player, one of the best midfielders in the world on his day. It's pretty crap, isn't it, that he's not won that? Thank you so much, K Wars, for getting in there, my son. Yes, another mercenary, they can go. CB says Martial can go to Arsenal. So Troops can have a go at him. Do you watch Troops, Pig? Hey, I'm aware of Troops. I don't watch him, but I know the guy. I see clips on social media and laugh. So I know the guy, yeah. But I don't watch, the stream, but or whatever, but I do catch some of the clips. Gungshi says Kettering Town. Good destination for either of these guys. Hey, lads and lassies, do us a favour if you're just joining us. We've got 100 of you legends in here this afternoon. We've got an early show today. Do us a massive favour. Smash the like button. Let's see if we can get this to 100 likes. Hit the thumbs up. It's free. It also gives us a boost up there on the algorithm and helps us compete with some of the clickbait charlatan melts on YouTube and the corporations, etc. So if you want to help the channel out, please do smash that like button. It's free. Let's give it a cheeky little Bacon Brigade. Like Spike! Roshmano, thank you for the £10 super chat, my son. Thank you, my friend. He says, I don't want Haaland. It would mean another 3 years of uncertainty created by Raiola. Yeah, what a twat. If players have this guy as their representatives, then it's purely money-based decisions. Absolutely. Didn't Zlatan have him as his agent as well? It's like, how many times he move around? He is a mercenary. He said some things about, recently weren't exactly the best. Like we have a small, closed club mentality and stuff. It's like mercenaries go with mercenaries. I agree with you. I don't think honest Paul Scholes with no agent signs with Mino Raiola if he's around in this modern age still. No way. He might have an agent in this modern game, but I think he would be a more reputable agent, not a shithouse of an agent, maybe be a family member or something like that could be his agent. So, Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I don't think it's all that, all that good of idea for us to deal with this guy anymore. He clearly seems to have a disdain for Manchester United. So why would we want to work with this guy? He doesn't talk about us in a good light. He calls us a small club. And, yeah, we don't want to deal with him. Let's not even put in a bid. I don't even want to buy Haaland anymore. I know he's a great striker. I don't even want to buy the guy. Who the fuck is that guy? We don't need to buy that guy. We got Mason, the star boy Greenwood, coming through as the future star. Rashi hopefully will come into his own in the next couple of seasons. Sancho is absolutely incredible. You know what? Fuck Erling Haaland. And he could go back into the Ghostbusters 2 painting. Fucking Vigo or whatever his name is. And then you also got Raiola. He can go back into, I don't know, whatever Pokemon's body shat him out. Because, I don't know. But I'm just saying. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. But Raiola could do one as well. Rushmano, thanks for the £10 super chat, my son. Can we get a cheeky little super chat emoji in there for Rushmano? And yeah, I couldn't agree more. If anybody goes with Raiola, if anybody aligns themselves with that guy, then surely they're all about the money and that's all they really give a shit about. I'm with you. Hey, fair play, Goat Now. No, he says, Piggy, I'm not high on De Jong, but if Pogba leaves and Barcelona are in financial crisis, it's the perfect replacement, especially if we're getting Ten Hag. So true, Gonaldo. Absolutely. I think he's a better option than anybody we've got in midfield right now as well, Gonaldo. Certainly a step up from Donny van der Bleek. No disrespect, but what has he actually done, though? Listen, I think he should still get chances. He could turn it around, but I'm not that convinced anymore. I just kind of think, yeah, he looks okay. But we need a bit better than okay. We need a bit better than okay. But then again, that could be good for Donny. Imagine that, and that would be good for the Dutch national team if Frankie de Jong came in and we could maybe get some system working out with Frankie and Donny. Who knows? That's actually a decent shout. Gungshi says the £1 fruit juice pig, hashtag fruit juice gate. Yeah, Zlatan Ibrahimovic does not pay for his own fruit juice. And if you make him pay for his own fruit juice, he will be pissed off and he will write a nasty little blurb about you in his autobiography or his book. You know what I mean? So be careful. Berber says, what's the point in signing Haaland for him to leave in 2 or 3 years? Raiola will whore him around Europe like he did with Ibrahimovic. Yeah, exactly, Berber. It seems like that as well. Seems like he'll be going from club to club like an absolute mercenary, hopping around. We'll see, though. Maybe Haaland will just end up at Real Madrid and stay there for his career. Maybe he'll end up at Man City. Maybe he'll end up at Man United. But judging by what Riola's saying there, it doesn't seem like it's the most realistic, that he'll be coming to United. Vlahovic or Isaac says Shazad Ahmed. Great shout, Shazad. That is a wicked idea. Yeah, those players do look good. Good options for the future, absolutely, and doing well. So could be decent signings. I wouldn't dispute those for future signings. Right, let's have a look at this piece of information as well here, dudes. So just on Pogba, we were talking about Pogba. This is from Romano earlier on today, just an hour or so ago. He just said to Sport 1, this is Raiola talking again. He said, Pogba to Bayern is not possible because the German mentality is different. The only German club that could pay for Paul is Bayern, but even they can't get to Paul's salary. They never made a proposal, but maybe it will come tomorrow. So this is what Riola's saying, just whoring around everywhere in European football. Anybody, do you want him? You don't, whoring him around. Maybe that'll come tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, nobody in Germany is going to buy Paul Pogba. They don't have the, like he says, it is only Bayern's got the money to pay that sort of wages. And they're not going to want to buy a player who's very inconsistent. I don't think Paul Pogba would be good in the German league at all. No, he needs to go somewhere like the Italian league, where he might get a little bit more space on the ball. Also the French league, where he's going to be up against a bunch of pitchfork-wielding farmers every single week. Or maybe even Spain, where it's a 2 or 3 club league. And he's also going to get plenty of space on the ball and coming up against teams like Celta Vigo and fucking Almeria every single week. You know what I mean? So, that sounds like the perfect destination for Paul in the sun, playing gash teams, getting good stats, winning meaningless trophies, and looking good in the process. That's what Paul Pogba should be doing. So fair enough. German clubs, not the destination for Paul Pogba there. But there you go. There's an update from... Yeah, what a prick, says Gungsha, I know. What a prick. This Raiola really grinds my gears, mate. Honestly, who does this guy think he is? Who does he think he is? Thank you, Rushmano. He says, subscribe to the channel. Yes, lads and lassies, if you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. Smash the like button. Let's be having you. We're on our way to 50,000 subscribers, so if it is your first time here, do hit the thumbs up and the subscribe. GTL Red, what's going on, my son? He says, it's easy to say let Pogba and Martial go, but where is the replacements? we didn't replace Herrera till this day. To this day! To this day! GTL Red. Okay, fair one, but okay, we did sign midfielders though since Herrera's gone. Maybe not a direct sort of replacement, but we have got midfielders in. The replacements will come in January. They're not going to want to lose out on a couple of these players, Martial and Lingard, without buying somebody else. We might not get 2 players as a replacement, but we don't need 2 players as a replacement. We've already got Diallo, Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford, who could all play in the wide areas. And then, if you're talking about the other position where, well, you don't need a replacement for Lingard. You just don't need a replacement for Lingard. So we only need to buy 1 player, which is a central defensive midfielder really in January. I think we will. And Frankie de Jong could be the one. De Jong to United is a big possibility now, if you ask me. Barcelona, these are the facts. We know that Barcelona want to have to cash in. We know that they need to sell players in January. We know that. They're in a bit of a financial strapped mess. They also need to try and redistribute that throughout the squad to get a better all-round squad because they're missing and lacking in certain areas. They need a forward player. And De Jong is big player on big money with a big price tag as well, £70 million. They paid 65 million euros, I think, for him in 2019. So they're not going to let him go for nothing. But because Martial represents £40 million worth of value, there's a very good chance, of course, that we could, we could get him in. So who knows? I think Frankie de Jong to United's looking semi-realistic in Jan. Who knows? We have to see what happens. And I think Martial to Barca's looking semi-realistic. Doesn't mean that it's definitely going to happen. There's a whole host of other clubs that could come in. We know that Newcastle United are very interested, and also some other of the money clubs around Europe would be keen on bringing Tony in. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Randon Lewis comments, Pogba wonders why he is never loved, but it's 100% his own fault for letting Raiola manipulate him. He should have just sacked him off ages ago. Remember when he was it last season when we had a game against RB Leipzig the day before? And Pogba's agent come out and said some bullshit. I can't remember what it was. Oh, he wants to leave United, something like that. The day before a Champions League important crunch game. It was a disgrace. Pogba should have sacked him then. Pogba should have sacked him off right then. You're no longer my agent. But maybe he's working in cahoots with the guy. Maybe he was aware of what Raiola was going to say. And therefore, I think you're right, man. And I think if he had anything about him, he wouldn't have him as his agent. It's as simple as that. He must just care about the money to have Mino Raiola as his agent, to a degree. Yeah, fair point. Airborne Assassin with a good comment here. He says, Haaland got 3 choices. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or Man City. Barcelona can't afford him. That's a fair one. Yeah. I agree with you. The money clubs probably could come in with him. I mean, I guess Chelsea, if they were interested, they would go for it too, but they've just got Lukaku. So, watch how Sancho plays tomorrow, says Naz. He'll probably play decent, mate. Yeah, he's had a good few games. Gungshi says, I rate Pogba pig, but I wish he would tell that Melter to shut up. It's the thing that pisses me off most about Pogba, to be honest. Yeah, that's right. He needs a new agent, needs somebody else. He's not going to get a new agent. Time to go. It's time to go, Paul. Martial won't be the only one leaving. I could see 3 players leaving in January, Airborne Assassin. Martial, Lingard, and somebody else. Somebody else can leave too. A few candidates that you could think about maybe realistically. There's still a question mark over Donny van der Beek. There's still a couple of the older heads, maybe Mata, Matic. I don't know, maybe Jose wants to sign a 32-year-old Matic right now, and we go out there and sign a midfielder. It could happen. Who knows? The sad thing is that Gungshi Pogba gives consent to Mino Raiola's comments. That seems to be the case, yeah, because surely if you were just sat at home and you had no idea about what was being spoken about in the press with Raiola, and you saw an article online and it said, Pogba wants out Raiola's comments, and you didn't know anything about that, you'd be furious. You'd be on the phone to going, you absolute twat. We've got a game tomorrow against RB Leipzig, for fuck's sake, mate. Sort yourself out, that's it, you're sacked, mate. But no, Pogba must be aware of what's going on and like you say, have consent to it. Otherwise, he would have left him by now. Mata's another good one, Rushmano as well. Mata could be sold, I suppose. He's on decent money. I don't know if there's a club around European football at his age that would take him, but he's still a good player. Hey there, Devils United. What's going on, Devils United? How are you going? Mikhail Kramer comments, Henderson may leave. Absolutely, Mikhail. Yeah, that's a good point. Great point. That's who I said earlier and I've forgotten about. He's another one in January that might leave. Dean Henderson may be out on loan. We saw the comment from Rangnick earlier. He said that there will be some players that, will have to assess the situation in the winter window and, who might be going out on loan. And Dean Henderson's one of them. So absolutely, that's a good point. Connor says you need a CDM, but you've got a gamer. You've got Garner on loan who's good. Yeah, he could be given a chance. I think he is a good player too. Hey there, Sam1133. He says, of course he works with him. He's never really mentioned about his loyalty for United. Paul Pogba, he has never really delivered the goods. So inconsistent. Too big of an ego for the club, I'm afraid. You're spot on, my friend. I couldn't agree more with you. It's time to go. Well, let me just get into the last bits of news that I wanted to cover, dudes. And then we will get into the live chat for a little bit of a Q&A for a few minutes. But, okay, so Rangnick said this on Rafael Varane. He said, for Rafael Varane, the game comes too early. He was out for a couple of weeks. We need to make sure he stays. This is in regards to the Norwich game. We need to make sure he stays fully fit until the end of the season. So we don't want to rush him too much. I am very positive in the next couple of weeks he will be available. So there's an update on Rafael Varane for you as well, guys. You know, maybe not. Maybe not going to be playing for a couple of weeks still. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Rangnick had told bosses, by the way, when he had an interview with them, this is what it's been reported in a couple of different outlets, that he told them that their midfield was weak, which, you know, he wanted to work on. So it makes sense. I mean, if you're from the outside looking in, the midfield is weak at Manchester United. So we're also linked with Haidara, but we've got a new link with another Leipzig man as well, Tyler Adams. He was once compared to Joshua Kimmich by Ralph Rangnick himself. So there you go, Captain America. We've got this whole American vibe coming. We've got a new American coach. Maybe we're going to get a bit of an American vibe. We've got American owners. Just saying. Don't think that's the case, but hey, it might happen. And then, as I say, Riola's comments, disgraceful. Okay, by the way, there's also COVID-19 stuff going on at Norwich. So just so you know, the game at Carrow Road tomorrow at 5:30 is currently still on. But it says Norwich City head coach Dean Smith has concerns over the availability of 4 unnamed players because of a combination of injuries and COVID-19. So hopefully between now and tomorrow, they don't get a whole bunch more COVID outbreaks or whatever. I'm not too sure of their current situation with that, but it does sound like a few players have got the vid. So let's hope that, you know, the game doesn't get called off. If they wake up in the morning, a few more people got it once they've tested. I don't know how it works, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, just to round up, before I get into the comments section for the Q&A, I just want to say, come on, United, let's go in the January window, sign a midfielder, let's go and get Frankie de Jong. Do it now. Go and get him. Give Tony to them, sell Lingard, loan out Henderson, get some money off the books. Do what you got to do to make this squad, make this starting 11 better, to challenge for the title. That's what we need to do. I wouldn't even stop there. I'd sign somebody else in the midfield as well, to be honest. Because I think we're lacking in that department big time, especially when you consider Matic is aging and going soon. Pogba is probably going to go soon. We need to get a couple of midfielders in, really. So I would love to see us go out there and do some bits in the window. Make it happen. At the very least, we want to see players out. Players like Lingard, Martial. And we want to see somebody coming in, you know, from that money. If we can't get Frankie de Jong, then somebody else. We want to see somebody come in. Okay, I'm going to get into the comments section now, guys. Thank you, everyone who's joining us and getting in here. Do smash the like on the video. Let's get this to 100 likes. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. Have your say in the live chat. I'm going to stick around for a few minutes and get your opinions read out here. Dizzy Red Devil, how you doing? Welcome in, boss. Niall Kane, big up to you too, Niall. How you going, man? Aaron Homeyard says, hit the thumbs up for the pig. Thank you, Aaron. Devils United comments CM and CDM. Correct. Yes, we need 2, I'd say. Yeah, I agree, Devils United, because Pogba's not going to be here beyond the summer, I don't think, anyway. It's unlikely at this stage. I think he'll go for the payday at PSG. And then Donny van der Beek, still a question mark. McTominay, let's be honest, I wouldn't put faith in him to be our main guy this season. Neither Fred either, really. Fred might be good for Rangnick, though, in a Rangnick system, but he needs somebody better alongside him to make it work. So I'm going to say that he's not a good option. I also think that Matic is getting older. You know, Mata was played in a deeper role by Rangnick the other day, but he's not going to be playing there. So the midfield is definitely a problem area for us. We do need 2 midfielders. Maybe not right now, but definitely 1 in January and 1 in the summer. Thank you very much there, Niall Kane. Says, evening, mate. Love the stream. You're a legend. Thank you, Niall Kane. Get in there, you beauty. I appreciate that. Much love. Thank you, Niall. Stewie Pope says, where will Pogba play in Rangnick's system at the number 6? I don't know. I personally don't really see him. He would definitely play in the midfield too. Yeah, he would play alongside, Fred, I would guess, in a midfield too. If it's a 4-2-2-2, he would play in the 2 just in front of the defence. I can't see him playing further up because we've got faster, pacier, wider players there as well. I mean, maybe he would play in an advanced role in the wider area. I could see that. You know, he did do that on the left wing for us. I don't know. I just don't actually want him to play in a Rangnick system. I don't think he would have the tenacity needed. But we could see. He's not fit right now anyway. So it's kind of a shame, really. Pogba is out injured because we just cannot assess what he would be like in a Rangnick system until probably February, March time. And by then, Rangnick might have signed another midfielder to play him. He might have his idea of who he wants to play. And Pogba might fall by the wayside anyway, only further increasing the likeliness that he goes and leaves us in the summer. De Jong, perfect signing. I agree, Sharifo. Oh, man, I'm starting to sound like Grant or Phil Mitchell with, man, I've got a bloody sore throat again and a bit of a cold. Again, it's pissing me off, man. The winter is making me ill. Tracy Whittard says, Pedro says Pogba and Martial are only fit for the Farmers League. Well, it's pretty much true. Pretty much true. Yes, Airborne Assassin says Vinicius Jr. can't see him going United, says Airborne Assassin. Don't see that happening either myself. Lynette Giggs, how you doing? Says Judge Donny when playing with better players, not academy players who were always losing jobs. Fair point, okay. But he did make an individual error in that game. I guess errors happen with all players, though. It's going to happen sometimes. He just had a bad game. I'm not writing him off just yet, Lynette Giggs. I think he's got to have a chance now. Certainly between now and January should be time that we assess Donny. Like, Donny should start against Norwich. I start Donny against Norwich. Do you think Donny should start against Norwich? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think Donny should start against Norwich. I personally do. I think he should start because, you know, he's not had opportunities. He's had one bad game. Yes, it was a stinker. None of the players looked that good in that game against Young Boys, to be fair, though. And I'd give him you're right, I'd give him a chance with those good players around him against Norwich. Give him a run. Give him a few games. This is his chance to prove himself. I'm not that convinced, but he definitely deserves the chance because he's just not played. So I would do that, Lynette. I would definitely continue to play him between now and January. And that's enough time for me. Like, he's got enough games between now and January to decide whether or not he should be a starter in the side, whether or not he's just a squad player, or whether or not he should be sold in January. So that's enough time. I'd more or less start him in all of the games between now and then, give him a chance, because it's all well and good just putting somebody into a game sporadically and not allowing them to have any sort of cohesiveness with their team because they're just coming in and out the side like a bit part player. But really, he needs a run in the side of 5 games, regardless of performances, just to get that sharpness. And we haven't seen that. He hasn't been given the opportunity. So I do feel for Donny. Gungshi says he needs a run of games. Lots of ones coming in the live chat here. Johnny, McKayu, Dilly Hill, Gungshi, the Vutinator, Adfilling Skills, Niall Kane, Dizzy Red Devil, Vincent Bullock. Absolutely, yeah. Lots of people thinking that he should be still given a chance before he's sold. Sim says Pogba would be knackered after 10 minutes in Ralph's system. That's what I'm thinking too, yeah. He doesn't seem to have the stamina, the consistency, and just the tenacity, like the outright pressing non-stop ability. You know, like if you look at something like Fred, that's why we say, oh, he actually is not that good previously under the other managers. But in a Rangnick system, he actually could be good. It's because his style suits the gegenpress. His real high-intensity pressing style does suit it. Norwich should be a good game for Donny. I'm not sold on Donny van der Beek yet, says Rushmano. No. Yes, great shout, Rushmano. Donny has to start against Norwich. Not sold on Donny. Me too. Give him chances between now and January. Assess him. If he's good enough to be a starter, start him. If he's good enough to be a squad player and he's happy with that, then fine. It doesn't seem like he would be, though, and he'd want to be sold. In which case, sell him in January too, along with Martial. And I'm just being realistic. You know, there's no loyalty in this right now, especially for him and his situation, because he actually wants to go. If he's not going to play, he would actually want to go. And if we assess him between now and Jan, and Rangnick goes, you know what, nah, we need to sign somebody in January, Donny's not good enough, then good, we've got an extra bit of cash generated there and we can reinvest that into another player. That's the idea anyway. So it's no bad thing if that is the assessment. If we find out, you know, come the end of this month that Donny performs like that every single game and he's bang average, then we'll be better off to sell him. But if he has a good performance or 3 or 4 between now and January, he could just convince Rangnick that he's the man to take us forward and maybe give him a chance. And there you go. He's part of the team. So it's up to Donny van der Beek what he does in the next month. But of course, it's not just up to him because Rangnick actually has to select him in the team and give him those chances, which hopefully he does. Hey there, the Vutinator. What's going on, mate? He's yet to show what he can do. Spot on, I agree. Needs the chances, doesn't he? GTL Red says, if there's anyone from the Young Boys game starting against Norwich, it's Eric Bailly. Definitely Eric Bailly and Lindelof as the starting centre-backs for me in that one. Forget Maguire. He doesn't deserve to be in there at the moment. Martial out, Haaland in, says Ahmad Putra. Not the most likely. Devils United says, with Brentford's midfield being so open, it allows Donny a lot more freedom. So I think he would suit that game a lot more, let him rest versus for Norwich. Interesting idea. I just think he needs game time. He needs game time and a run of a few games in a row. Because coming in and out of the side is going to be difficult for him to show his best. You think Oli Femi says, I'm sorry, but Donny is not Premiership quality. Well, Johnny Gallagher would absolutely love that comment because he totally agrees. He thinks Donny's just not good enough for United. I mean, if you just seen that Young Boys game the other day and just were assessing Donny on that, you'd say he's nowhere near good enough. But he does seem to have quality. I mean, if you look at him coming on against Watford in that game, he did do well, even though the team crumbled. And he's looked good at times. That's all, though. He's never looked amazing. He's never looked like Bruno setting the world alight, winning games single-handedly. He's never done that. Let's be honest. So he does need to step up, but he does need a little run to see what he can do. Rushy says we got 75 likes. Thank you, everyone who's hit the thumbs up button on the stream today. Do hit the like on the video if you haven't done already. Gungshi says, I'm not sold either. He's been good sometimes and not so good sometimes. Give him a run of games, I think, and then decide, says Gungshi. Absolutely, we need to assess him after he's had a fair crack at the side. I agree with you, Gungers. You know, that's the general consensus of Donny. I think most of us agree. We've not seen enough of him yet to truly give a proper fair assessment. Maybe some of us have opinions formed on what we've seen so far. You might think he's good, you might think he's bad, but we haven't seen enough. I think we could all agree on that. We need to see a few more starts from the guy, assess him between now and January, and then sell him if that's to be the desired approach. If he's not good enough, if he is good enough, great. We've got ourselves a new signing almost. Airborne Assassin, that's cold. He says Donny can't pass win, let alone a football. You know, Donny's passing is very, very impressive. I rate Donny's passing. I'd say that's his best attribute. Not in the previous game because he passed it to the opposition for their goal. But hey, mistakes happen. But his passing attributes are fantastic. To be fair, Airborne Assassin, don't do him dirty like that. Right, okay. I guess we better wrap this video up then, dudes, because we've got another show coming up shortly tonight, a preview for the game. So do get yourself involved for that as well, everybody. In fact, I'll get a link to that right now for you, so you guys can go check that out and chat over there. Let's see what's going on. So Martial wants to go, guys. That is the latest update, and it's pretty horrendous. It's pretty horrendous news. It's not really. Who gives a shit? But it's still a little bit of a surprise. I would have thought that it should have been handled behind closed doors, but there you go. Who gives a shit? Time to go. Anyway, good for United to cash in. Don't really see the impact that he's had over the years that we signed him. In the end, do you know what? In the end, Tony Martial, it's not 50 million down the drain because we'll probably get our money back, but it's not exactly worked out to be the amazing signing that we thought. I know that, you know, Tony Martial scores again and, you know, he has done well. He has got some goals over the years. He's definitely justified, I guess, the money we paid for a youngster at that time because he has turned into a big player. We will get that money back. But, you know, when will that be on, Pig? I'm not getting notifications, so I keep an eye open. I don't know what's going on, don't you? Yeah, it seems like notifications are broken, man. Notifications are broken at the moment on YouTube, or for me they are. I don't know, Gungshi. I'm not too sure yet, actually. I've just got a message. Let me just try and see what's going on. Okay, I'm not sure if we will have a stream on at 6. I'm not too sure yet, Gungshi, actually. I'll have to wait and see. I'm going to try and get it sorted out very soon. If not, I'll do a preview. If we can't get a show together with the lads for a panel show, I'll come back on about 9 p.m. or whatever and do that. But I've got to just try and sort it out with the guys after this show. I'll let you, just keep a lookout. That's all I can really say at this stage. Try and put the bell icon on though, so you might get a notification for it if you haven't done, peeps. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up there. Thank you for tuning in. That's the latest on Tony Martial. There's the news update. Do us a favor before you go. Smash the like on it. Give it a share around on social media if you want as well to spread the news. Hit that subscribe button on the channel if it's your first time here as well. We will be back on later, obviously, with a Friday night FIFA action tonight and a bunch of other bits of info if there is anything that comes. Martial was good before Ollie took over, says the special one. Better, I would say. Maybe you're right. All right, Barry, hope you well. Hey, Lucas, no, man, I'm good. Thanks for getting in here, son. The food today to Mikhail, Rushy, and Footing Skills. Everyone else, thanks for watching this stream then. I'll see you later. Do follow us up on social media as well at Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Check us out for later. We'll probably be having something coming on the channel, so do keep a lookout for it, and we'll keep you posted with all the latest United goings on. Peace out, people. Thank you very much, every single one of you, for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. This is the Pig. Have a great day, and come on, United. Take it easy.